I'm saying,
4th of February, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. Sorry I missed the first class.
Okay, so hopefully Alan will be able to get in here.
Let me see if I have an email from him. Yeah, I have an email from him.
all right, I don't
Wants to
know.
know if we started.
Yeah, he's been trying to get in since we heard from him 11:26, right before the end of the first class.
He wants me to call him, so I'm going to call him now.
Okay.
Hi, Alan. How you doing? Your phone or computer? Did you try the link that I sent you? All right, I'll send you one right now. Okay, I'm going to send him another link.
Okay, thank you. Tiskel mitzvahs, Lou.
Amen.
Aye. Okay, so we're going to start from the Mishnah on Kuf Yud Ches Amud Beis that we read at the end of Yom Chamishi.
Okay, see if I can find that. Kuf Yud Chet Amid Base.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the page.
Before or after the Mishnah?
We're going to start with the Mishnah.
Mishnah, okay, got it.
Okay, good. So you're honored to read the Mishnah, Lou.
All right, thank you. Let's see. Ein lokchin min ha-roim temer vechalav ugedayim. One may not purchase wool, milk, or kids from shepherds. Velo mishomrei peiros etzim u peiros and not from watchmen produce of from orchards of fruit. Aval lokchin min hanashim klei tzemer biYehuda, but one may purchase from women vessels of wool in Yehuda. Uvalei pishtan Vigalil, and garments of linen in the Galil. Galim Basharon, and calves in Sharon. V'chulan she'amru lahat min, and all of them that they say to conceal, lahat min, to conceal. But if any of them, that is these women, told the purchaser to conceal his purchase, usur is prohibited to purchase from her. V'lokchin beitzim v'tar negolim mikol makom. And one may purchase eggs and chickens anywhere. This is a really weird Mishnah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Alan. Alan's here trying to get in. Very good. Okay.
Baruch Hashem, it is.
All right.
So you can purchase wool, milk, or kids. You cannot purchase wool, milk, or kids from shepherds.
There you are.
And you
Right.
can't purchase wood or fruit from watchmen of who watch fruit.
Right.
And you can purchase but you can purchase woolen garments from women in Judea and linen garments in the Galilee and calves in Sharon. As long as the women you were purchasing it from didn't say you got to keep it secret. If they did, then you can't buy it from them.
Don't tell anybody that you bought it from me. Yeah.
But you
If
can
that's
go
what
and
you
buy
say,
eggs
then
or
don't.
chickens anywhere.
What's that?
But you can go ahead and buy eggs or chickens anywhere.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what this is talking about.
Well, we have four rules over here, four halachas.
Right. I mean, I understand there's rules, but they don't seem to make any sense. Doesn't seem to be any logic to it.
So let's see what Rashi has to say over here. There's Rashi on this.
Okay.
Oh, but Phil's not here.
Yeah, he's
Good
gonna be
morning,
gone for
Alan.
3 weeks, I think.
This is the first time in 2 days I got through.
Wow.
No one was answering me.
That's frustrating.
It was very frustrating. All right, what page are you on? We're on Bava Kama, right?
Bava Kama
Yeah.
118B3.
What page?
118B.
Oh, 118. Okay.
We're doing the Mishnah. Okay, so we just read the Mishnah. And now we're going to take a look at the Rashi. So I'll read the Rashi. So on the first din of the Mishnah, the first din, you have the place, Alan?
118B3, right?
Yeah.
Right.
B2, B3. Okay. Mishnah?
Yeah, we already read it. So I'm just gonna
I heard part.
read the Rashis now.
Okay.
Okay, so the first din in the Mishnah is ein lokhin min haroim. Don't buy from shepherds. Don't buy from shepherds wool, milk, or baby goats. Why not? Says Rashi, Te'ikal meimar shema gonvu mitzono shel balabayit amosor lahem, because there is there's some degree of possibility over here that we are concerned over here that perhaps they have stolen these items from the Balabayit that gave his flock over to this shepherd to watch. So therefore, if we know that there's a situation that there's a situation that the person that we're buying from is selling us stolen goods, so then such as this situation over here where the Mishnah is talking about, so therefore the Mishnah says we're not allowed to buy from that individual. And similarly, the same applies for Shomrei Peros, guardians of orchards. You can't buy wood or fruit from them because of the same concern. Okay, so now we come to the third din over here in the Mishnah. But one's allowed to buy Kli Tzemer in Yehuda from Nashim, and similarly Kli Pishtan from Nashim in Galil. Rashi says over here, Rashi Dibur Maskel Tzemer b'Yehuda Pishtan b'Galil. Zuhi Maleches Hanoshim. So Rashi's bothered by the question, why is it that we're talking about buying from the Nashim? What's it have to do with Nashim? So Rashi says because they are the ones that are in this this line of malacha. Zuhi Maleches Nashim. Vein atzmam osos umochros. They are the ones who themselves manufacture the wool and the linen, and they sell it. So what's the problem? Ladas balehen hu, and it is with the knowledge of their husbands that they are doing this. So what is Rashi telling us exactly? Oh, in other words, I made a mistake. Rashi's explaining us that why it is that it's permissible to buy from them, because they're not like a shepherd or a watchman. They've got their own. We have no reason to assume that the wool or the linen that they are manufacturing doesn't belong to them. We have no reason to assume that. They are doing it with their husband's knowledge and presumably consent. That this is what they're doing. So, in other words, if it would be wool or linen that belonged to the husband, but the husband knows that the wife is doing that, and he is he's okay. He's okay with that. That she should do this and produce these things and sell these things, even though it's his raw material. Let's say that must be what Rashi's talking about. Maybe you'll say, oh, she's taking things from her husband and so like that, she's not allowed to do that. No, says Rashi, she's only doing it with his knowledge and consent. So there's no basis here to suspect that there's anything that's stolen merchandise over here. So there's no reason not to buy. So therefore, the Mishnah says that one may buy from the women these products. Okay, and also when it comes to Agalim b'Sharon, you can buy calves in Sharon. So Rashi says over here, Haroim b'Sharon, the shepherds in Sharon. Sharon is a name of a place. Berachava le'ein ko, and they're selling it in the plain over there, in full view of everyone. It's not you're not going in a back alley over there, and some guy with a trench coat pulls over to you and shows you all of the watches that he's got on his wrist. It's not a shady business over there. He's selling it in full view of everybody, and so that, of course, makes it look quite legitimate. Because if he was selling stolen stuff, he wouldn't do it in full view, where the person that he stole it from would be able to say, "Hey, that's my animal that you're selling." So he's selling in full view of everybody, and so therefore, says Rashi, "Mi'acha shemokrim b'farhesia." So Alma lo gonvu. So therefore, we can conclude that the person did not the shepherd. he's not selling an animal that he does not own. Okay. In other words, it happens to be that he's a shepherd. But since he's selling them in a public setting like this, like any other person that would go to a shuk or to a public area where they sell, they don't sell animals in a shuk. A shuk, you don't want an animal walking around in the shuk, I guess. You don't. There's not room for all these animals. You have to sell them in a rechavah. You have to sell them in a spacious area where it's got some space for them to roam around. And that's the place that you sell these animals, and it's a public place. So based upon that, Rashi says we have no reason to assume that this person, even though he's a shepherd, we suspect shepherds for stealing from the one that gave them the animals to watch. But here in this case, we don't do so. And then Rashi brings Lishna Achrina, Sharon Shem Makom. It's the name of a place. Umakom Gidol Agolimhu. It's a place where calves are raised. Velokim Agolim Bazol, and you could buy calves very cheaply. Umagadlino son Ushalahenhem, and the people that are raising the calves over there, they're raising their own calves. So it could be that this guy, we're calling him a shepherd. Maybe shepherd generally means he's watching somebody else's animals, but over here it seems like we're saying that he's raising his own animals. He's not working for anybody else. That's the general situation that exists over there in Sharon. So therefore, we don't suspect. anything. They have no reason to suspect anything. And then Rashi says, Lashon zeh ikar. This second pshat is the main line streamlined pshat over here, and that's why it's permissible to buy from him. The sanya b'menachos prepare kol karbonos, kol karbonos, elim Moab ukvasim Hebron agolim misharon. So there's a brisa in the Gemora over there in Menachos that mentions that that's the way that it's established practice over there to sell, that the people sell their calves in Sharon. That's the place that they're raised. It's the place that they are sold over there in the public setting. And so everything is on the up and up. And so therefore, there's no reason to be concerned. Okay. Fine. Those are the Rashis. Okay, so now let's go to the Gemora. Alan, you want to read from the Gemora, Tana Rabbanan?
Which page?
118b3. After the Mishnah.
Tomorrow, right? The rabbis taught in a brisa.
That's it. Good.
Ein lo chin min roim lo izim below one may not buy from shepherds either mature goats or kids. Below Gidin, below Tuloshin shell semer, nor fleeces, nor wool that was torn from the sheep.
Shorn.
To food. One may buy from them sewn garments. B'nei shehain shalohin, for the garments belong to them. Below lokachin mehain kolov uga bunor b'madin. One may buy from the milk and cheese in the wilderness, below by a shuv, but not in a settled area. Below kahin mehen arba b'chomosh zone, and one may buy from them 4 or 5 sheep at once. Arba b'chomesh gizin, or 4 or 5 fleeces at once. Aval lo shatei, sown below shatei gizin, but not only 2 sheep at once or 2 fleeces. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, be sos lo kachin mehen, domestic sheep, one may buy from them. Yos ein lo kachin mehen, but range sheep one may not buy from them.
Okay.
The note for that says, we presume that the shepherd would not risk stealing domestic sheep because the owner knows that the count of his flock and will notice that some are missing. Rashi, where the sheep are grazed in a remote area far away from the owner, raised sheep. However, the shepherd is not afraid that that will be detected.
Okay.
Maybe
Um,
118.
okay, so what's that?
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Okay, so the Brisa says, like we said in the Mishnah, that you can't buy animals basically from the shepherd. Below Tulushin shel tzemer. Tulushin shel tzemer. So Rashi says over here, Tulushin shenitlash hatzemer she'al harachel ma'at. So they're patches of wool from the Rachel, the whatever the sheep, ma'at, a little patch at a time that you could buy. Why would that be? Oh, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. Not allowed. Why not? Tamsha Osliknosum Kosovo Ravid. The Ravid writes the reason why you cannot buy them, buy this wool, these wool patches. Lefisha Nira Shahut Tolesh Osum Beatzmo Minagizim Shel Balabait. Because it seems like where does this shepherd get this Telushim from? He obviously must have gotten them from the fleece of the sheep that belongs to the balabais that he's tending to his sheep. So you can't purchase those things either from the shepherd. He's just trying to make a little bit more parnasa over there. But okay. But then it says you could buy Chalav and Gvina in the midbar. And Rashi says Chalav and Gvina from the midbar. Oh, there was something else, Tfurim. Oh, so the Brisa said you could buy Tefurim because it belongs to the shepherd. Now, why does that belong to the shepherd and the Telushim do not belong to him? First of all, what are Tefurim? Tefurim, Rashi says, are bigodim tefurim. They are tailored clothing, like a tofer. They're sewn. Somebody took the wool off the animal and made a beged with it. Bigodim tefurim. So that's the whole malacha that they did. So now, if the shepherd is selling this what do they call that, a pinstripe suit over there, and it looks like it came from the wool of the shepherds that he are owned by the balabais. So why is that not thievery? How come you're allowed to buy this suit from the shepherd? What's the difference? The Brisa says because the suit belongs to the shepherd. Why does the suit belong to the shepherd any more than the patches of wool belongs to the shepherd? Just like those didn't belong to him, he stole them from the sheep. So too the wool that he took to make the suit also came from the sheep. What's the difference? So Rashi says because over here we have a principle. Godim Tefurim, the Inami Gonvu, because if it would, on the tzad, that he did steal the wool from the balabais, Kaneinu Bishinui, he's acquired this stolen wool now with a shinui. Since he has transformed the wool and made it into a suit. It's really not wool anymore. It's a suit. So now that will be a kinyan that he's made in this stolen item, in the stolen wool. And of course, he's not allowed to do this, but we're not talking to him. We're talking to the buyer. And the buyer, technically speaking, will be the Brisa says that he'd be able to purchase the suit from the shepherd. So some of the commentators have a question about this case over here. The Yam Shlomo says like this: L'chora gam achar shekonu haganav b'shinui adayin shayach tam ha'isr shehu masayeya b'yad haganav. What about the fact that you are helping this ganav in his business of thievery over here by buying this suit? True, it may be that it belongs to him right now, but what about the fact that he stole the wool, and then he manufactured a suit, and now he's selling it to you. You're assisting this ganav in his malacha. So what do we answer to that? What do you say to that, gentlemen? How can we support this ganav? Anybody have an idea?
Can't support the gunner.
What?
You can't support the gunner.
Right? So now let me ask us a question. Do we know for a fact that he's a ganav?
Well, shepherds are generally thought to be. We don't. He possibly could. He might be an honest. There may be an honest shepherd, but we generally say that the shepherds are ganavim.
Okay, true. So here we have to make a shpal over here. We have to make a split over here in the din. On the one hand, we say, I mean, do we know? Do we really know that when he sells the patches of wool, do we know that he's a ganav over there?
We assume
We don't know. We don't know for a fact that he's a ganav, but we suspect. We suspect that he is. It's possible that he is, and it's also possible that he's not. But over there, in that case, he's done nothing to the wool to transform it and acquire it with a shinui. So technically speaking, he's just selling the wool itself, and on the side that he stole it, so it's stolen goods. So over there, we say, no, don't buy it from him. It might be stolen goods. Okay, you can't buy stolen goods, even if you don't know for a fact. But it's where we suspect. Okay, so now we got to come to the case where he made it into a suit, though. When he made it into a suit, why don't we say the same thing? Why don't we? But we say no. The ganav really owns the suit. He really does own the suit. You're not buying stolen goods over there. He owns the suit.
But what about the material that he made the suit from?
it's stolen material, but now he acquired it by making a suit.
Uh-huh.
So now, technically speaking, you are not buying stolen merchandise. Even if he did steal it, it's not usher now to, it's not selling something that belongs to somebody else. It belongs to him. But the only issue that we raised was, so it's not like the case of buying stolen wool. That we don't want you to buy stolen wool. So we said, don't buy it from the shepherd. Don't buy wool from the shepherd. He's got stolen wool. Maybe it's not stolen. Yeah, but it maybe it is, and it's likely that it is. So therefore, we say no, you can't do that. Don't buy stolen wool. Don't buy wool that it might be stolen. Over here, though, there's no doubt that this suit and the material in that suit does not belong to the original owner anymore. That's the halacha. So the suit doesn't belong to somebody else. It's not like buying wool that belongs to somebody else. But what we said but you're supporting a ganav. You're not allowed to do something to support a ganav. So on that we say, oh, but do you know for a fact that he's a ganav, that you're supporting him, that you're not allowed to support this person? That you don't know. So that prohibition about supporting a ganav, that only exists when when we know for a fact that the person is a ganav. And here, since we don't know for a fact that he's a ganav, so we say there's no prohibition in supporting somebody who might be a ganav, because you don't know that he is. You don't know.
When you're saying he's a ganav, are we saying that we know that he stole in particular that wool that he made the suit from, or that in general he's a ganav?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it really amounts to the same thing over here. We're saying that even if we know that he stole this wool that he made the suit from, and therefore it's stolen merchandise, but it belongs to him now because he transformed the wool. The fact that you're saying, but he's known to be a person who sells stolen merchandise, and maybe okay, so that might be a different story. If we know that this person is in the business of selling stolen suits, suits that he made out of wool that he stole from somebody else, if that's known, so then I would imagine that this halacha that we're saying over here wouldn't apply. If we know that he sells stolen suits, so then we have to suspect that this is then we know that we're supporting somebody who's known to be somebody who steals wool. So even if he transforms it into a suit, then it would be then the reason why you can't buy that suit is because you know this is a person that does that. Here you don't know that it's a person that does that. You don't know this person. He is a shepherd, but you don't know that he's a shepherd that steals wool. But there's too many of them that do. So, but just because a lot of them do, that doesn't mean that you know that this one does. But if you do know that he does, so then you do know that he's selling you a suit that even though he owns it, but he stole the wool. That if you know that he stole the wool, then you can't sell. Then you can't buy it from him. that would already tip the scales. Even if you don't know that this wool that he got in order to make this suit, even if you don't know for a fact that that wool is stolen, but if you know that if it's known that he is somebody who steals wool and makes it into suits and buys and sells those suits that he stole the wool from, then you can't buy from him, because we know that he's a ganav, and you can't support a ganav. Okay.
Right. Are we talking about both Jewish and non-Jewish shepherds?
We're talking here about a Jewish ganav.
No. And would the same thinking apply to a non-Jewish ganav, or is that a different matter?
You should buy from a Jew in any case. Why are you buying from a non-Jew?
Okay, but you've got the opportunity for the non-Jewish ganav.
I don't think that you could buy from him if you know that he's a ganav either.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense that you would not be able to buy. First of all, there's a preference to buy from a Jew as opposed to a non-Jew, and to say that we don't want you to buy from a Jew because it may be stolen because he's a shepherd. We're not going to be any more lenient with a non-Jew who's a shepherd.
So the same, yeah, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, all the best, everybody. A good Yom Rishon and a beginning of a good week. Bezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Yeshuas Hashem.
Okay, thank you. See you in Hashem tomorrow.
Bezrat Hashem. Okay, bye, Alan.
Bye.
Glad you're able to get in.
Long journey.
Yeah, okay. Bezrat Hashem. Tomorrow it will be better.
Amen.